Hello, everybody. It is your Professor Rocco, your boy, coming at you once again with another Age of Sigmar video. In this episode, taking some inspiration, if you will, from Valentine's Day. Today we'll be playing Power Couples in Age of Sigmar. That's right, folks. We're going to be talking about Power Couples, great pairings to go and make sure your miniatures get on together well and show off their strength, their power, their might that make up your list. What's a power couple? Well, it's normally called a power pair, or really just call it a combo. It's when, two units that buff each other up or work well together in your army, or how your unit uses a rule in particular, and, ends up being very successful in whatever it is they're trying to do. And I think that for a Valentine's Day themed episode, it's pretty good. I'm going to, take out my phone here to make sure I'm actually going to have the correct rules on me this time, and I'm not going to misremember anything. I'm going to hold other people accountable. Alright? So, try to be cute, fun, have a good time. A little memey, and like and subscribe to the channel if you want to find your true love with your Warhammer army. Get back to announcer voice Rocco, and here we go. Our first power couple is SHELLY, baby girl, my beloved Achillean Leviathan, and anything NAMARTI. Oh yes, don't be salty this Valentine's Day week. That's right, it's a whole week now. It's for those single people, that's rough. But not as rough as the seas of love you'll be riding on here together, because this love boat just won't stop. Now, the thing about the Achillean Leviathan here is it has an aura with a mount trait that can be extended to give units in your army +1 to save. But more specifically, your NAMARTI love that turtle. They love it so much that if there's an enemy unit wholly within that aura, they'll get +1 to hit to kill it to make sure it doesn't touch the turtle. Is that a little possessive? I mean, have you seen how awesome the turtle is? Baby girl can fight for herself, but the NAMARTI like to help. And next up on our list, we have 30 GORS in all herd. You heard? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You too could be the proud owner of 30 GOR and use the all herd sub-faction in the new Beast of Chaos battle tome that has been released. So here's the thing. All herd, at the end of the battle shock phase, because I believe it keys off of whatever the keyword it is for the GOR. I'm going to double check this right now in real time. GORs that have the GOR herd keyword, if I remember right, unconditional battle line. The beauty of this thing is, I'm going to triple check. So it's D3 plus 3 models come back to the unit, right? Actually, I believe it's the Bray herd keyword. Let's go Bray herd here. Keep him the take. Screw it. GORs are amazing in the new book. They have an ability where after they charge, and if they outnumber the unit that they charged, on a 3-up, they can give it always strikes last. There's a big frothing herd of GOR scare and intimidate the heck out of whatever they're charging. And all herd just keeps up the masses. Now, I know a lot of units in the Beast of Chaos book went up in points. That's okay, because with all herd, you're going to be refilling that GOR herd very quickly. Pair in something like maybe a Great Bray Shaman and a Life Swarm for more healing. And honestly, give them shields. Make them a base 4-up save. And with that Herdstone in there too, improving your Ren still, but just table wide, you don't need to be near the stone. Life's really good. Oh, and did I mention that if you have a standard bearer, and 1 out of every 10 models can be a standard bearer in the unit, if you have at least one of them in there, they rally back on a 5-up. That's right, with your 30 GOR, you could charge in, do a bunch of attacks, do some good damage, get hit back, pull yourself out of combat, regenerate D3 plus 3 gore. And then, in the next hero phase, rally a bunch back on a 5-up. That's why you need 30 gore. And our next power couple is Squig Hoppers and their new rules. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, coming here to watch our show. Squigs have much better rules and movement. It's movement. It's really the movement. Okay, listen. As I've said on this channel, you win games through movement. Now, it used to be you rolled a bunch of d6s and hopefully something happened in order for these squigs to actually be good. And that was just ridiculous. Like, destruction armies, even back in fantasy battles with the orcs and goblins army and animosity rules, love to do just random junk that you either love or you hate. And it turns out, there's no way of saying this, for an unconditional battle line like Squig Hoppers, they really needed to be a bit more consistent. So now the new movement is D6 plus 10 inches. And there's so much you can do with that. It's really cool. And also I'm going to read verbatim their rule here. Boing, boing, boing. On their war scroll, after this unit has made a normal move, run, or retreat, pick one enemy unit and roll a dice for each model, aka each Squig Hopper, in this unit. Right? That passed over a model. Pick like one enemy unit you passed over. Now, depending on how many Squig Hoppers you got in here, you roll a dice for each Squig Hopper. I was going to say verbatim, now I'm just being honest here. For each 4-up, you do a mortal wound. So, Squig Hoppers come in 10s. Double reinforce, that's 30 dice you're throwing at someone. You can auto 6 that run. I'm sure there's ways with the Bad Moon to buff it. There's got to be some movement tricks in here. You're going to roll 30 dice and on average roll 15 mortal wounds. Now, do they have 2 wounds still? Yes. Are they bad in combat? Debatable. The mount hits on a 4, wounds on a 3. 3 attacks, -1 rend, 1 damage. Squigs are good. They got 1 inch reach. When you kill them, half of them can come back from your shrine. And then roll 15 dice for mortal wounds. Honestly, it's a really good unit. They are 180 points for 10 right now. Squig Hoppers love their new rules. Just in general, in the Gloomspite Gets book, they got a lot of good changes. They got a great glow up. You throw some support pieces on them. Really, it's just like that moon, that loon shrine, and a good old squig. And you're just off to the races and boinging and boinging and boinging. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, it seems that we have one more honorable mention to our top 3 here. If I had to take a guess, it's probably that pesky Iron Jaw, mega boss on Maw Crusher, and that War Chanter that loves pairing up with it. What do we got? MORATHI and herself? Oh no! That's right, ladies and gentlemen, MORATHI and the Shadow Queen are a fantastic power pair. They work in concert, sharing a pool of wounds, where wounds done to the little MORATHI get shunted over to the big MORATHI. You have to do 3 wounds a turn in order for it to die. Now, a lot of people will go and say, hey, Rocco, wouldn't you want it to be in Calibron for -1 to hit? And I'd say no, as the comments in my last video have educated me on. They lost the -1 to hit, but you can still teleport stuff with it, so that's neat. People will go and say Hagnar because you have +1 to the battle round for your Daughters of Cain army to really buff MORATHI and MORATHI up. I would say no. Now that Calibron isn't an auto take, I think we run. I'm gonna double check the rules. Do this live. Keltnar, retreat and charge. Because listen, here's the thing about Big MORATHI. Okay, I'm just gonna get in here real quick, real quiet, real up close. Hey, how you doing? I don't even know if I'm in frame anymore. The way to really make it so that because each one's, I think, 350 points technically, because you take them as a pair to be 700. The way to really handle the big Morathi is if you can plink a few wounds off each turn through shooting. But not every army has shooting. What a lot of armies have is some really tough, durable unit that you could throw out there and bog her down, get her stuck in a tar pit kind of situation again. I'm thinking like if I'm Deepkin, I am gonna be I don't know, unrendable eels bouncing in and out of her with a 3-up unrendable save on the charge. I'm gonna be 30 gore, where they just can't kill enough of me, or 60 grots with nets that are -1 to be hit. There are so many ways to just have her stuck in a unit, which is gonna take her a couple turns, which will buy you time to either just ignore her and score objective points, or shoot at her from a safe distance. If you're gonna be a Daughters of Cain player, you can just say no, take Keltnar, and retreat and charge. Also, I highly recommend you throw both of these lovely ladies up the table, because at most, combined, they can only take 3 wounds a turn. So you're missing out on melee output from the little Morathi that you could be using alongside the big Morathi. They are your forward screen because they can't immediately die. So when Alpha strikes you, you can't die. You take 3 wounds at most. The rest of that output is wasted on them. Then you've got magic, you've got shooting, you've got a whole bunch of melee attacks between both profiles, and life is great. Daughters of Cain player, it's the bow snakes. That's great. Oh no, my Morathi, I need her in range to make sure it's a big command ability range. You're fine. Take Helebron and teleport the snakes around with the bows. That's okay. That's still a rule. This is a lovely power pairing. Morathi is great. I hate going against Morathi with a passion. Again, part of the reason why I like taking a couple sharks with harpoon launchers along with my turtle is so that I don't have to dedicate better shooting to taking 3 wounds off of Morathi. And if I'm going the unrendable eels, my game plan is just cool. Even on the turn I don't charge, I'm an unrendable 4-up save. What can you do about that? Cool, you probably lift an eel. There's 3 in the unit, and killing 1 doesn't force a battle shock. Hopefully that buys me enough time. Keltnar stops that plan, and it's rough. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for playing our game of Power Couples in Age of Sigmar, and for coming to class today. As I like to say at the end of all of our videos, class dismissed. Bye.